Today, we're going to be talking about how from direct mail, on just one deal from direct mail, how I made over 6 figures on just one deal, requiring 0 rehab. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ryan Corcoran. I'm an entrepreneur and real estate investor, and I created this channel to help you achieve financial freedom as I have through real estate. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you want to learn more about flips or buy and holds, multifamily property, commercial property. It really helps the channel out. It spreads the word and allows other people to learn more information as well. And this is my way of giving back to the community. We were able to buy an off-market 6-unit property here local to where I live in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Again, 6 units, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, direct mail. So what I was doing was, and what I've been doing for several years now, is really mastering off-market techniques to purchase real estate. I haven't purchased a property on the MLS in over 2 years. And the reason for that being is that I have found that there is massive value add when using direct mail techniques. Direct mail marketing, it can be cold calling, it can be your network. There's a ton of different avenues, auctions, all that kind of stuff. Essentially, it's when you're able to buy a property that is off market, meaning not on the multiple listing service or not on the MLS for the public eye to view. And typically, these properties are able to be purchased below value when you are able to find a good deal because you're usually solving someone's problem. I've found that in almost every really good deal off market, I've had to solve someone's issues, right? And so I've really turned my business structure, my business model into problem solving instead of, making money, trying to find the best deals, right? It's really interacting with everybody that you talk to off market who may have potential in selling you their property, and really trying to get down to why would they call you back on a letter, right? There's got to be some sort of trigger in them that's saying, okay, this guy sent me a letter. He obviously wants to buy my property. I receive these all the time, but why am I calling him back today, right? Why right now? There's something going on in that person's life that caused them to call you back. And it's your job as an off-market deal specialist to figure that out, solve their problem, and in return, you typically get a pretty good deal. So we're gonna go over this deal today, a 6-unit, again, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Now in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, just so you guys get an idea of the market, because you're not living here as I am, over, roughly $110,000 per unit for a 2-bed apartment is really where the market value right now is, right? So if you're going to sell a property on the MLS right now via an agent, post it, list it, get offers, it's probably going to be around $100,000 to $110,000 per unit. Finding these off-market deals, I'm really looking for properties where I can get at $80,000 per unit, $75,000 per unit, right around that number, so I have enough equity in it, whether it's a buy and hold, whether it's a buy and flip, or whether it's a wholesale, right? So anyways, this specific property, I had sent letters out, and this is the exact list I sent it to. I sent it to 5+ unit multifamily properties because that's what I specialize in. Absentee owner, meaning the owner did not live there. The next criteria down was I made sure that it had 6 bathrooms, because a lot of times when you plug in on PropStream or CoStar, or wherever you're looking up for your off-market lead generation, if you type in a unit count, sometimes it doesn't really give you multifamily. Sometimes you'll get commercial properties that don't have a bathroom, but it counts as a unit, right? And so I wanted to wipe all those out. And the reason I do that is because I can really manipulate income and expense to generate value versus comparable sales like in a duplex or a triplex. Now, I do duplexes and triplexes as well, but for this scenario, and most of the time, I really find the biggest bang for the buck is that 5 to 6 unit and larger range. Sent a letter out. I received a call back from an individual who was telling me that he's owned the property for a while. He has got very low rents. The tenants are, not the greatest caliber of a tenant. Everyone's sort of paying. The manager is kind of a mom and pop guy. He's looking to sell in the future. He thinks the property is worth probably $550. Right, this is all the information I get from him. So I get there and I meet him, and one of the nicest guys I've ever met, but I could tell that there was some sort of There was an underlying motivation here of why he had met me at the property. When I got to the property, I started digging, hey, what do you do for work? How's your, family life? Where do you live? All that kind of stuff, right? Essentially, in April, he has a family commitment that he needs to basically find money for. He just lost his job about a year ago and started a new one, but hasn't gotten off the ground yet. Right? This is perfect, right? I'm here. I'm figuring out what the problem is, and I'm trying to solve it for this individual. I walked the property, not in terrible shape, but the big things are the roof was done, siding was done, heating systems updated, units needed TLC, but all the big stuff had been taken care of, right? So I was really looking at this as a buy and hold property. However, when he told me it was worth $550, I said, listen, I can't get there. I'm going to be more around the $500 to $475 range. We ended up talking, and he ended up actually telling me what the rents were at that point, and they were like $700. And I was like, listen, Pete, the most that I can do based on this before I start losing money is $425,000. And right then and there, he said, if you can close quickly in 30 days, cash, no inspection, no appraisal, don't come back trying to knock more more money off of me, we have a deal. So keep in mind, properties around here, $100,000 to $110,000 per unit. I'm buying this at, what's that, $70,000 a unit, right? Just over, $71,000 a unit. I happen to have a really good network around here, right? So I ended up buying this property with a partner. We went 50-50 on it. We each split 50-50, brought the money down. I found the deal. I did all the work. My partner found a buyer after we closed it. We found a buyer for $625,000. We had a $200,000 split. We each walked away with just over $100,000 a piece on this property. Now you're probably saying, who would buy it for that much? All the big systems were taken care of. It needed light cosmetic work, some tenant turnover. These people who are buying this property were buying this at $100,000 a unit. They still have some equity left in that property, likely worth $110,000 once they get some rents up, when they turn the tenants over, right? So they still have some equity play in here. So really what I was able to do in this scenario was find this really killer off-market property, solve somebody's problem by helping him out, bringing the deal to a buyer who's now buying the property, getting what they want, a 6-unit property that's a little bit undervalued, they can still do some TLC, and I walk away with a $100,000 check from one deal. That is the same amount of money that I made my first year out of my master's degree program as a physician assistant in one deal, from sending 2,500 letters, which cost me roughly $1,800. Really want you to think about that for a minute. Now, how scalable is this? Well, if I'm getting one deal, let's say every 2,500 letters, what happens if I send 10,000 letters out? Granted, yes, it's going to cost me $7,500 a month. Sure. But if you're making, let's say you're making 20 to 30 grand per property, and then every now and then you hit this boom, 100,000, 80,000, even 75,000 once every couple months from these, you can do the math and you can quickly see how the return on this is quite high. If you want to learn more about how to specialize in off-market properties, get sellers to the closing table from off-market properties, different ways to find these properties, I do have a coaching program. It's called Hidden Deals Coaching for a reason. Hidden deals, not listed on the MLS. You can book a free call with me if you'd like. If not, there's plenty of free resources. YouTube, Google, Bigger Pockets, you name it, there's a ton of them. And just to wrap this up really quickly, that was just one deal, right? So you can imagine how this can multiply very quickly, right? So far this year, I've sent almost 30,000 letters out in the last 3 months. I've sent out over 30,000 letters. I've got 9 deals under contract. 2 of them are the size of that one. The rest are over 30 grand. So if you do the math on these, it adds up really quickly. Again, please reach out. Any questions, concerns, I really appreciate your time. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you know anybody looking to specialize in off-market property, please send this video to them, as this will definitely help them out moving forward. And please reach out. You can reach me at Instagram at RJCORCORAN08. You can find my podcast. It's called the Leveraging Real Estate Podcast. You can find me on hiddendealscoaching.org. Thank you again. Have a great day.